700 quid. She wants 700 quid to get lost, even though she told me that she wants to get lost. So after that cease and desist and that police report, she decided to simmer down and sail off into the sunset, while still keeping our keys, by the way. And another one wants to quit and start giving attitude as if they know the law. Welcome everyone to another episode of Cleaning Chronicles. So this week again I have more staff issues. Why do people want to act a fool? Had someone leave to last night at whatever time. Oh, Sunday's my last day, I won't be returning. Okay. So she was 2P'd over from the last cleaning company who, my god, they're such a shit cleaning company. They started 8 months ago, and yeah, anyways, we know enough. And yeah, they're way overpaying. She's on like £16 an hour. And they're a shit cleaner because they do night work. Always pay people more for night work or weird hours or, you know, whatever. But she's a shit cleaner and like it's actually not always night work and you're paying, yeah. Anyways, good location, fairly easy contract, different kind of site for us, which is always good to diversify into other kind of sites. And I just said, so what's your contractual notice then? And I got a whole spiel about, oh, since 2P, you didn't give me a contract, you didn't do onboarding, I haven't had a payroll form, you haven't met, you know, your staff haven't met me. And you know, people talk shit, yeah? I run a tight ship, but I do make mistakes. Let me just say that. I make mistakes, of course I do. Things get missed, or, you know, set contract a couple of days late. Absolutely, you know, when we're growing this fast, you know, no excuses, we make mistakes. Never major ones, never ones that lead to a hemorrhage. But anyways, when you get messages like this, the first thing I do is usually contact my HR because, you know, with like tenants, with employees, as I've said to you so many times, you have to be so effing careful. And I'm in an industry where it's not like, I don't know, a marketing agency where the turnover is really not that high and it's a bit, you just work with a different type of person, right? We're in an industry where things are, you know, we're hiring and firing. I should actually look at the stats for this, but I don't know, we probably hire 3 to 5 a month. No, actually no, if we're not growing, we probably hire 1 to 4 cleaners a month and we probably fire, 1 to 5 cleaners a month. I think, I should actually look at that, but maybe I'll do another podcast on staff turnover. So obviously I get quite good at dealing with these issues, but obviously we get a lot of issues. Now, each employee, although they may not be owed a lot of money or, you know, or their salary's not a lot or they haven't worked for us for that long, each one still causes the same level of time and irritation as does like a full-time account manager at 40 grand a year, you know? But of course the liability is a lot less because they're earning a lot less. Anyways, she has an onboarding email, I've got it in front of me, she even replied and said, all received and understood. And just now my ops manager said she hasn't completed her payroll form. So I sent her a message basically saying, shut the fuck up, piece of shit. No, I didn't. I sent her a message saying, look, stop talking nonsense, stop making false allegations. You were sent the payroll form twice, you haven't filled it in. Do you want to get paid? Let's talk like adults, yeah? Fill it out and you'll get paid. Secondly, you're getting deductions because you didn't work your notice period. Thirdly, I don't know who these people think they are. She did meet my staff and guess what? She was incredibly rude to him from day one. So much so that he didn't even want to talk to her. He was always like, oh, I'll text her feedback, I won't call her. I'll go on site when she's not there because she's horrible. Horrible. Overpaid piece of shit. Listen man, other entrepreneurs like paint a pretty picture and like, I'm just saying how it is and how I really feel about these things. Like, you know, like it or lump it, this is business. And it's business in the UK where people are way overprotected. We need more laws like Dubai, man. No, modern slavery, no. But overprotected, you have to go through a process, this, that, and the other. And it's just one of these things which it can take a lot of your mental space. So you have to learn, I'm still learning, to just compartmentalize, put it to one side, you know, speak to HR, follow the templates, do the shit, and get it done with. But I'm also a person who believes that if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. So if you're not working your notice, we're gonna make deductions from that. If you're not returning keys, we're gonna have issues. It's one of these things where, yeah, you just have to be very careful how you handle people. And so, yeah, that's just like, it's one of these things. When I get the text nowadays, like, oh, I'm quitting, whatever, I don't even sort of panic. I'm just like, ugh, like just go away, you know? Like you're finished to me, you mean nothing, right? That's the nature of the industry, unfortunately. So in terms of the next staff issue, remember I sent a cease and desist and a police report to this person. They still haven't returned the key. Oh, pay me half and I'll go return it. So apparently we're getting it on Friday when she's paid, even though it was supposed to be there 2 weeks ago. So she will be getting deductions for the new lock we had to fit. Excellent. One of the annoying things is you can't necessarily make deductions like that. You have to pay them and then sue them for it. But when it's like 40, 50 quid, like you can't even sue for it. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. Another member of staff, I think I mentioned this, who said she resigned but didn't resign and has now gone to ACAS and is having another, you know, we're having a thing where I might say, you know what, go to tribunal, see you in 12 months and crack on. But then she wants her job back, even though we replaced her because she resigned, or she claims she didn't resign. She obviously can't find a job. And obviously they want a reference because she's worked for us for like 10 years. So funny that. So balancing what to do there, you know, do we settle? Probably not. Do we just let it go tribunal, end up maybe paying more, but it's longed out and we can fight? You know, it's one of these things which, honestly, staff issues, especially lately, I don't know what's going on. Like, where's Jesus? He's coming up, his birthday's coming up. Why is he not back in it, man? A lot of staff issues lately, and you know, issues that I don't really need. And some of them have come from just the natural turnover and like, this is the industry, this is what happens. Some of it has come from, you know, my ops manager not having enough experience and hiring people who maybe I wouldn't have, but me giving him the rein and saying, okay, let's see. But now always saying, right, what's the lessons from that one? Like, what are we learning moving forward? And now, you know, I'm having a tighter rein on hiring. Sometimes you give people, he's incredible. You give people this job, this task, it doesn't always work out. And the thing with hiring is you can't blame the person who hired. People come across differently in interviews, the references say very good things. I've hired plenty of shit people, like I have, with good references, with good interviews, and we fired them a few weeks later. So it's not necessarily his fault, but I had so much experience in hiring, thousands of CVs, thousands of interviews at this point, from in like every industry, every sector for so many companies, that I am gonna be more involved now, at least with the final kind of say and having a final conversation, making it a two-stage process, because he's also hired good people. So that's why I'm saying you can't blame the hirer. If there was a real consistency or, you know, things were missing, references weren't done, blah, 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 you might then question it. But that's one of the things when you grow, you have to give people powers, you have to delegate, and you have to, you know, sometimes things go wrong. And it's no one's fault. We just got to work on like making it better. So that's been quite taxing lately. Another thing that's been taxing is one of our biggest clients, just them getting used to our payment terms. So I've got like 43 grand or 34 grand invoices that are waiting to be paid. Actually been paid yesterday, so they should come through soon. And it just always happens that it all comes at once. You know, I've got a 30 grand VAT bill. Actually, accountants who I think I'm about to fire, and I'm going to publicly fire them as well, so you'll know, because I'm at my fucking wit's end with these lot. Said I had to pay like 40 grand VAT when it was 36, but then I went back and said, you've missed like a bunch of costs and blah, 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 things like this. It's more like 28 or 30 grand. That's a big flipping difference. But my VAT costs for prior months were around 15 grand. Why is this so high? Because we're growing and we're making more money. And without real tight financial control, which you as an entrepreneur are probably gonna have most of the time, good spreadsheets, QuickBooks, whatever, and understanding, you can look at numbers and say, oh, okay, but like understanding it is something different. That's what I mentor people on, and my mastermind coming up in January is about, and you know, people book one-off consultation calls with me to go through things like this. And so it's a bit of a squeeze. You know, VAT's got to be paid 7th of December, wages in a few days. So, okay, wages will be paid. The NI and stuff will then be paid afterwards when that money comes in, and the VAT will be paid. And then, maybe the Porsche can be paid, who knows? But yeah, just squeezing at the moment. Also, a fair bunch of new clients. So, you know, lagging payments versus when staff are being paid, which is normal. And also one of our biggest clients, we have seasonal and on-season hours for some sites. And the profit margin varies massively. Off season's way more money, on season's not as much. So, you know, and we make a little bit of money on consumables. So right now, yeah, it's squeezy. And then December is usually a big payment month because of holidays, and you know, sometimes we pay the holidays before, not in January, but you know, we'll see. Lots of cover needed lately as well. You know what, it has been really busy. I've also sent off 2 tenders that I personally went and visited because I just need to get out of the house. And my ops manager, he's busy doing other shit. He did quite a few visits last week when he was ill. So I said, you know what, man, you chill, get some admin stuff done. I'm gonna go. And it was fine, it was West London, so hold tight. And my fingers are like chapping in this cold. I need to put on some of my lemony flutter. This is Lush cuticle butter, it's very good. And the visits were interesting. I mean, they were definitely worth doing. It's changed my price, it's changed my approach. Both tenders are pretty much written. I'm just finalizing one of them. The other one I submitted, one was 5 grand a month, the other one was about 1,800 a month. Not massive, but as I said on Instagram, I want to get to 1 million, you know, every single month. Right now, we are annually 1 million, but some months are lower, some months are higher. I just want, 1.2. I want to get to 100 grand a month because we're currently at 80 to 85 a month in like the boring commercial stuff. And then I'm going to be like, have another mini retirement, but then we're going to look at one-off jobs. So 40% profit margins, they're inconsistent, but they're really interesting and they're niche, and yeah, it's like doing flips. It's like doing flips versus buy-to-lets. What I have now is a bunch of buy-to-lets, a lot of them, and then doing flips is like, ooh, kind of same amount of work-ish, less risk, more risk, whatever, but then boom, big chunk of money. And that'd be nice to like, I don't know, we're buying a new house soon, and if anything comes on the market, thanks to Rachel Thieves, I've got a quartz desk at the moment. Next one I think should be Viola or Panda marble, what if book matched. And then doing a chunk of like, you know, getting a chunk of profit from a cleaning job will pay for that. Anyways, I digress. That's what I've been up to lately. And you know, people don't want to see this in business. They want to see all the other shit. But the times like this and the work that goes into this and protecting your business from costs and from toxic assholes is like what makes a business. Like, this is the reality of what goes into it, not the stuff you see on Instagram, not the things you think I'm doing, but this shit is how you protect this asset, this vehicle that you've built, which is your business. And also reputationally. I mean, one of these people, I'm still waiting for her to go to ACAS actually, but yeah, left me a bunch of fake reviews on Google. So look, if you're feeling kind, type in SAF cleaning, SAAF, go on to Google reviews, you'll see the fake reviews from someone called Melissa and all these other names. Report them as being fake. Help me out, honestly. If I've helped you out with hours and hours of free content, which I know I have, please just do that, because Google, yeah, they're long, man. They're taking quite a few of them down, but they're still shit. And that actually pissed me off with the reviews. I was like, are you flipping kidding me? So there we go, people. Let's see what happens with these tenders. My goal was to submit 5 more before the end of the year. So that's one I've just done. Well, I've done a couple, but one I've just done, and then I've got another one. So that's 3 more before the end of the year, which I think we can do if there's ones available. I don't like the tendering process, to be honest with you. There's so many unknowns. It's like sealed bids with the price, you know, you can get penalized so much if someone else undercuts. It's a bit, I don't think it's a good process, because everyone's there like, oh, well, they're charging £20 an hour, let's charge 18. And if it's weighted at 35% of the score on price, that £2 an hour price difference can lose you like 10-15% points. You're out, you've lost. Or because someone who thinks they can deliver it for that price, they can't, or a massive company who can, chucks in this price, and so it mathematically skews it. However, if you and I are both pitching a client and they say 18 and we say, I can say, oh look, we do this, we do that, and you can say that in a tender. However, it's not the same. And no matter how much you can explain how good you are, if pricing is 35, 45, 50, 70% of the scoring, the way they work it out, it doesn't matter, the price wins. Whereas when you're having a conversation and you're doing proper sales, the price doesn't win. And we're in an industry where people think they can deliver it for lower amounts, and maybe they can, but sometimes it's not worth getting up out of bed for anything like that. And given this flipping budget and this fucking country, which does not reward growth, in fact, UK is so bad mind. When it comes to attitude, when it comes to taxes, it does not reward growth. Yet this country needs growth, and this country has so many positive things about it that have historically and could continue to encourage growth and people staying and putting money into the economy, but they don't, because the government are unqualified, inexperienced, complete morons, silver spooned all the way up their assholes, and they have no idea how to actually run the country, because it's like running a business, because it is a big flipping business. And every year debts go up, and every year nothing gets, and if you think, oh, Farage's gonna come in and do this, he's already gone back on half of his flipping pledges. He's increasing council tax in his areas. If you think Tory gonna come back and change it, everyone lies. Like even the vegans, the whole tight Green Party, man, whole tight Zach, even the vegan single speed hipsters, they lie. Everyone lies, and it's about what can we do with that. But I just feel like lately it's been bad. I'll do a podcast on the budget. Anyways, my mastermind is in January, people. So click the link, put an application in. There's no obligation. Have a little chat. Otherwise, I'll see you on the other side, whatever that other side looks like.